to the Cheer Athlete Podcast, where we bring coaches, parents, and athletes expert tips and advice to help keep cheerleaders healthy, strong, and at the top of their game. Now let's go. Welcome to the Cheer Athlete. Today we're going to talk a little bit of ramble. I just got finished recording all the videos for the Cheer Injury Prevention Challenge. It's a 5-day challenge. It's email sequence, and I'm a little ramped up, and I'm excited to kind of share a little bit of what we talked about in that. So in case you decide not to do the challenge, you still can have a taste of it. If you don't know me, I'm Laura Turner. I'm the Cheer PT, and I help cheerleaders and parents and coaches navigate injury prevention and reduce injuries in cheerleading. So, what a week this has been, huh? I on all kinds of levels. Let's talk about the cheerleading competition in Dallas, the All-Star competition. That's not an area I ever thought I was going to have to talk about for injury prevention. I'm not sure why. These, chaotic events seem to be happening more and more. I don't have all the information. I only have what I've seen on social media and from Google. I understand there was a fight and it caused a lot of disruption, and they sounded like gunfire, and everything got evacuated, and a lot of chaos ensued. And my first thing I want to say is my heart fell when I saw something happen, and I've been thinking about all of you who are down there and went through this. Some people I've known since they were cheerleading at Northeastern. Some people I have known as instructors at cheer camps that I've been to. Some people I've interviewed on the podcast. I just it was devastating to hear, and I am so thankful that everybody is mostly okay, as far as physically, that there's no life-threatening injuries, to my knowledge, and that it was able to continue. Like, kudos to NCA and varsity for being able to get that up and running again, and for being able to get the kids back on the mat. I know for some, you didn't get to go back and compete, and that's very sad. And know that it won't be the last time that you'll be on the mat. Know that you'll be doing it again. Take a breath. It's going to be okay. Maybe there was another reason that you weren't supposed to compete yesterday. Maybe there was a higher power just kind of directing things and saying, nope, let's take a pause so that no injuries happen further. I also was in communication with someone whose daughter had an injury. This was on a Facebook group, and I think how scary that must be. Not just, her child was injured and she was not there, and then this event happened. Complete chaos. It's craziness. So anyways, I've had a lot of anxiety, and I imagine you who have been living through it have had that too. So I encourage you to take a deep breath, breathe out. It can help a lot to reduce the stress and anxiety that you might be feeling. And when we carry that around with us, when we carry that stress around, we carry the anxiety around, it can really hold us back from continuing to move forward and going on to the next competition, or to, so take that breath and know that this too shall pass, and you can keep moving on. In all my videos that I just recorded for the Injury Prevention Challenge, the winter of 2025 Injury Prevention Challenge, I talked a lot about the 5 key elements that are important for injury prevention. How flexibility is not the end all be all. How important warm-ups are, and why it's important to do a proper warm-up, not just stretch. How important strength training is. We talked also about working on landings, between jump landings and tumbling, and landing softly, and why that's important. And then talking about training smarter, not harder, and having a plan in place. And I give a bonus tip in there for recovery and how important rest and recovery is in preventing an injury, and allowing your body to heal by getting good night's sleep, by taking some time off, by having a cool down routine after practice. by working on doing some deep breathing while you're maybe stretching at nighttime before you go to bed, and doing some nice easy stretching to help your muscles recover after a workout and after your practices. All of these are very important. And I think, you know, you can, I talk about this stuff all the time on the podcast. And if you want to learn more, certainly go sign up for the challenge. It started on March 3rd, and it's going to be released through the 5th, but you can access it anytime and go get those emails anytime. It's not time specific, and there's no live videos. It's all pre-recorded and all emails that you'll get. So yes, you'll get more emails from me, but you'll get some good videos and some takeaways too. So if you want to dive into that, go check that out. It's completely free. So I hope that's helpful for you. And just remember, as we keep talking about, like taking that time for your mobility, your strength, your recovery, your nutrition, it all goes together. Everybody wants the quick fix and how do I prevent an injury? Well, it's cumulative, and we keep learning, right? We keep learning about different injuries. We keep learning, and you build on what you know. It's the same thing as building a proper team. You're starting at the basics and you're going up to elite. We got to take our time with it and just keep stacking on and keep learning new skills and keep training ourselves. And the more we do that, the less risk we have. As I talk about all the time, and I talked about it in this challenge, like you can't prevent an injury altogether, but you can reduce your risk and you can improve your recovery time. Certain injuries, like an ACL injury, takes a year to get back to normal, because it's just the time it takes for that ligament to, if you've had surgery, it's for that ligament to, now work as a ligament and, control the bone, as well as building that strength up because you had incisions. And then you got to just nurture that and let things actually recover and heal and get your mobility back and get your strength up. And manage the pain. So it takes time when you have an injury, but if you are healthy and you have good mobility going into it, your recovery and getting to that time frame is much easier. And it's easier to get back into your motion. So you then start to really focus on building strength so that it doesn't happen again. I had an ACL injury when I was skiing after cheerleading, and it took me a full year too. And I'm a physical therapist and I work in a physical therapy clinic. And I was there, I went to physical therapy twice a week, but I had people checking on me every single day, to do my work. And I have been diligent since the time I finished physical therapy on building strength. And I talked about this in the challenge. When I was cheerleading, I didn't find strength training until my final year, my senior year. And mostly I liked it because I was going into the gym and, the football players were there. But I really started to get into strength work, and my friend Lisa and I would go together, and I can remember doing workouts together and like, oh, this actually feels really good. And I am feeling much better, and I could see a change, and I could tell that things were going to improve. And I wish I had started that when I was younger. I wish somebody had told me how important it was to do the strength work, and it taught me how to do strength work. Even in PT school, I didn't learn about strength and conditioning. I took strength and conditioning classes after PT school so I could learn more about it, and became a functional strength coach so I could learn more about it and really help people learn how to do functional exercises like squats and lunges and deadlifts, and how to program that and why, and, all the stuff that goes into strength and conditioning. So had I started earlier before that, I would have been a much better athlete. But because I had started and I had a decent amount of strength and I was into a strength routine and I was working out on a regular basis after I finished cheerleading, and when I was, post college, I tore my ACL because I didn't know how to ski and I didn't know how to stop, and I fell, and my binding didn't release because I fell weird. And that's because I didn't know what I was doing. But building up the strength after and continuing that and just continuing, like now it's 30 years later and I have never retorn. That's a big, one ACL injury is actually it's very common for females to have a second ACL injury. And I knock on wood, have never done that, and I hope to never do it again. It's one of the most painful things I've ever been through, um, on a physical end, at least. So, but the strength work has really been the game changer. Yes, I have to keep my mobility up. I found, over the years, if I do a good warm up, which gets my blood flow going and it keeps my body gets my body ready for what I'm going to do, then I can lift heavier and I feel better in the long run. And my recovery afterwards is much better. Yeah, when you bump up your workouts, things are going to get a little bit sore, but the recovery time doesn't take 2 weeks to feel better. It takes a day. So creating these routines for your cheerleaders now will help them down the road. Your youth athletes, they still need to strength train, but that strength training can be playful and it can be fun and it can be more motor based, that helps them to, that doesn't have to make them sit and focus and squat. Maybe their squats happen every time they go potty, that they're sitting up and sitting down. I'm picturing a little kid on a toilet and I'm thinking that's not the best place to work on their squats. That's more for us old people. But you get my point. Hey, maybe sit on the stairs. Hey, let's go sit on the stairs, and you're gonna stand up and sit down and play Simon Says. It's a great way to get kids to do things like, Simon Says, get down onto the step and just barely touch your butt, but don't really touch your butt, and then hold it there for as long as you can. Now Simon Says, stand up. It can be a fun, make it fun. And you can make it fun for your older athletes too, and do things like Simon Says. I tried one time, we were doing conditioning at the end of a workout, and on my Watertown team, the first team that I was coaching, and I wanted them to, they need to have some, like, they need to really build their endurance. And I talk about this, like, in season is not the time to build endurance. That's better for out a season. And I wish I had done more with the strength and conditioning outside of that when I was coaching, and I didn't really pay attention to it at the time. Things you learn as you move forward and you get older. Um, but we're at the end of practice and I put on the song Jump Around, and I was like, just jump. That's your conditioning. Just jump around for the entire song. Most of them couldn't handle it. And in hindsight, it was maybe it was mean because I just keep going. If I had put it on and off, I think it would have been, done it as intervals. It would have gone over better. But that is a great, 3 minutes. That's what we need to do on the mat. They need to be able to jump for 3 minutes, and you need to build up to that. So they need to be up and down, doing things. And you put on a song and you move, however, for those 3 minutes, and then take a break and breathe. And if they're not there, like that was wrong on my end because I made them do something that they weren't ready to do. So what I've learned, like, meet them where they're at and take them where they need to be. If they're not in condition, doesn't mean you make them conditioned overnight. It means you build on it and you help them to grow and you get there over time. Like I said in the beginning, this is a learning curve for all of us. Every single moment of life is a learning curve. And we just got to keep building on it and keep progressing. And the more we do that, the better we're going to be on the whole. And the less injuries we'll have, and the quicker we'll recover when we do have some weird random injury that happens. I really hope you have a good week. And, if you're interested, I am now starting the cheer club, where I'm going to be posting once a month. I'll have new videos up, new exercise videos, workout routines, and I'll put up a new workout every month. Likely 2 workouts per month because I think it's important to alternate, but you can choose what you do. And I'll have different tips for injury prevention and more strength and conditioning tips along the way. And I'll be able to answer your questions as a community. So you can ask each other questions and give each other support, and we can cheer you on and inspire you and motivate you to keep up. So one-stop shop for you to find your videos and workouts and more education and information too. So if you're interested, that link will be in the show notes below. And I hope to see you next time. I appreciate you being here. I'm so thankful for you. And I'm so thankful that everybody was okay this past week. And let's keep it going. Keep cheerleading safe and not have stupid arguments that causes chaos. It's not worth it. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget, when in doubt, breathe out. Take life one step at a time. You can do anything you put your mind to. And as my friend Drew Kelleher said, you're responsible for your own vibes. So go get the day.